Alright, so my arena videos aren't really getting any traction, which shouldn't be a surprise because it's not really what the channel's about, right? It's not how it started, it's not how it's going. So let's get back to EDH. Today we're going to be looking at Azami. If Azami is for Prague or Ostruzna. I'll tell you right now, she's for Ostruzna. She's just too oppressive for Prague. I'll get to why in just a minute. Something I'm going to do is reorganize my collection. So normally I have 5 commander decks in one of these long boxes. Get that on camera. So I've got 5 here, and I'm going to take out the ones for Ostruzna and just put them in this box I got from my OGS. So this would be my dedicated Ostruzna box. Azami will be the first deck that goes into it. Could be Animar, but he's also for Prague. He's not that bad. So Azami, why is she for Ostruzna and not Prague? Well, she's kind of weak. 2 colors, triple blue for a 0/2 legendary wizard. Tap and untap wizard, you control, draw a card. Yeah, so she's not going to be killing with commander damage. Or is she? It is possible in this deck that she kills with commander damage. Not likely, but possible. But tap and untap wizard you control, draw a card. Well, let's take a look at the deck. Let's take a look at why I'm saying it's oppressive. Okay, elixir mortality, yeah. Island, yay. Teferi mages up here. Creatures owned that are on the battlefield are flashy. Your opponents can only cast spells when they can cast sorceries. I played this in some decks in Prague, and it's not too much the lads to handle. Sage of Fables. Each of the wizards comes into play with a +1/+1 count on it. All of my wizards. And I can take off these counters and draw cards. Ghost Quarter. Siren Storm Tamer. I play one in Muldrotha. Muldrotha is way too slow for Ostruzna. She's definitely a Prague deck. Even though she's strong, she's still a Prague deck. Masquid Nexus. Creatures control every creature type. The most relevant one being Wizard. And for 3 and tap, I can create a 2/2 blue wizard. Puppeteer, tap and tap target creature. Yay, you have to spend blue to do it, and he costs 3 and he's only 1/2. Coat of Arms. Each creature gets +1/+1 for each other creature in play that shares a creature type with it. So if I have a bunch of wizards, and I have a bunch of elementals, and they become wizards, this suddenly gets a lot better, and Azami is smashing for quite a bit. Let me zoom in a bit. Tilt this down. That should be good. Island, nobody cares. Harbinger of the Tides, yeah. Vidalcan Mastermind. Bounce a permanent you control back to your hand. Island. Sword of Temptation. Steal somebody's creature. It's a wizard. It flies. It costs 4 and it's a 2/2. Time Spiral. Signed by Mr. Sutphin. Exit from the game. Each player shuffles their hand, graveyard, library together and draws 7 new cards. You tap up to 6 lands. Yeah, I played that in Nekazar. Sword of Light and Shadow. Raise Dead. Gain some life if it hits somebody. Protection black and white. It's here for the Raise Dead. It's here. Whenever I have Sword of Light and Shadow in an EDH deck, it's there for the Raise Dead effect. Glendolender Archmage. Counter target non-creature spell. Yeah, that's not too oppressive. Tezzeret the Seeker. 3 blue for 4 loyalty planeswalker. And tap up to 2 artifacts. Neg X. Go find an artifact in your library that costs X or less, put it in the battlefield. Neg 5. All your artifacts become 5/5 artifact creatures. Yeah, he's here to find mana rocks. He's here to untap my mana rocks. He's here to do some work. Daring Apprentice. 1 double blue for a 1/1 wizard. You can tap her, sacrifice her, can't target spell. Archetype of Imagination. My stuff has flying, my opponent's stuff does not. Mana Drain. Can't target spell. At the beginning of my next main phase, I gain colorless mana equal to the casting cost of that spell. Hello Mardeps, yeah. Liquid Metal Coating. Somebody said I should use Liquid Metal Torque instead because it has another ability. I like the art on this better. And then somebody else commented that I was gross for thinking that. And I asked them to explain themselves, and they failed to do so. So I don't know what the hell they're on about. I don't know what got up their ass for me to... It's an artistic choice. I like this art better than the other art. What's strange about that? Metavolt, tap, add 2 colorless mana mana pool. Does not untap during your untap step unless you spend 4 mana, and if you don't, it does a damage to you. Or Tether just untaps it for me. Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, Island. Void Mage Prodigy, sack a wizard, counter target spell. Yeah, he's got morph, but I never use it. Soul Ring, Capsize. Turn target permanent to another's hand for 6 mana at instant speed. So you can keep it in your hand and do it again. Lightning Greaves. What's this? Invoke Prejudice. This is one of the reasons why it's oppressive. I've got Invoke Prejudice in here. So 4 blue. Any of my opponent's creatures that are not blue now cost double to cast, or they're countered. Now this can backfire. If somebody's playing some kind of graveyard deck and they actually want the creatures in the graveyard, then this works for them. It's a corner case, but it could happen where somebody's like, hey, I need to get these in the graveyard. Oh, I can just cast them, get them countered, and they'll go in my graveyard. That's exactly what I want. Not going to happen very often, but it is possible. Okay, Low Mage Mentor. Whenever spell or ability control counter spell, you may, you will, I will do it. Make a 1/1 blue Merfolk token. Tap 7 and tap Merfolk, counter target spell. If I have Masquerade Nexus in play, all my creatures are Merfolk, wizards, they're everything. So I just tap 7 creatures, counter target spell. And then I get another everything. So this is starting to become part of the oppressive suite. Tachessa Tidebinder. I should have her in my modern Merfolk deck, but I got 3, didn't get the set of 4, and I distributed 3 across my EDH decks. 2 in a blue for a 3/2 flashy Merfolk wizard. Comes to play, she counters up to counters a target activated triggered ability. If an ability of a permanent, a non-land permanent, is countered this way, it doesn't get to do it again as long as she's... So if I counter a Planeswalker, that Planeswalker can't do shit as long as she's in play. Citadel Temple, untap Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx. Citadel Tracer, tap 2 and tap wizard you control. Copy target instant sorcerer. You may choose new targets for the copy. It'd be nice sometimes if I could shut off the original spell, if I could counter the spell and then copy it, but I think she would cost a bit more. Or they would just print her now. I mean, Lorwyn was a long time ago, back when Magic was kind of fair. Now it's all fucked up with power creep, and it just keeps getting worse all the time with goddamn Commander Horizons and their Eldrazi bullshit. But that's another video. Island. Willbreaker. Whenever creature and opponent control... Let's talk about her in a minute. Island. Cephalid Constable. He's a wizard. And whenever he deals combat damage to a player, I get to decide which permanents go back to their hand. And it says permanent. It doesn't say non-land. I can bounce people's lands back to their hand. So if I can get him through, if I can make him unblockable, then I can hit somebody, or I can make him, give him trample or something, and smash somebody in the face, they're going to start picking things up. Venture. Return a spell to understand, or make them pick something up. Wash out. Wash out something that isn't blue. What's bothering? Green's bothering. Wash out green. Everybody pick up their green shit. Vanilla Click. I don't know, maybe I should take this out. Sometimes I don't like using the triggered ability. I haven't used it that much. I wasn't playing in Standard when this was tearing up Standard, so I know it's good, but I don't really have that much experience with how good it is. But anyway, it's a 3 for a 3/1 flashy flyer, so that's good. Windy Canyons. All my creatures can have flash. Or Teferi can just do it. And then I just don't worry about the canyons. Thawing Glaciers. Come get tapped in Spiel. So it comes into play tap, 1 tap, go find a basic land, put it in play tapped, and then return it to your hand at the end of the turn. So if I can untap it, say with Visitor to Temple, I can get a couple activations out of it. It's slow. It's slow, but it's reliable. It's perfectly reliable, and if you have a deck where you've got ways of getting this into play without it being your one land drop, it's fantastic. It's perfect. It's great. War Tax. X blue creatures can't attack this turn unless controller plays X for each attacking creature. So if I've got, say, 8 devotion to blue, and I've got Nyx Lotus, I can tap that, spend 1 of the blue and 7, so they have to spend 7 for every creature that they want to attack me with, which usually ain't going to happen. Now, if I had Propaganda I don't have to spend mana on, but 2, if somebody has some big things they want to come at me with, spending 2 isn't that onerous. It's not restrictive enough. Spending 7, spending 5, yeah, that starts to get a little bit dicey and more of a sure thing. So, War Tax it is. Big Ally Rules. Gain control of target creature's power less than or equal to the number of creatures you control. She's only a 1/1 for 5, but she steals things. Okay, what else we got? We got Willbender. I will morph. Void Mage Prodigy, I don't care about the morph. Him, I care about the morph. When he flips over, I get redirect a spell or ability that has a single target, so he's cool. Island. Counterspell. I have wizards in the deck. I will have a wizard when I play this on the field, unless something has really gone wrong. But if things are going halfway right, it's counterspell. Island. Omniscience. I may play spells from my hand without paying for them. And I get to draw cards by tapping wizards. Alright. So you can see that there's nothing individually that really makes Azami oppressive. It's a bunch of weak wizards, it's a bunch of small things, but they add up. It's the sum of the parts, the sum of the whole, and it's a whole lot of bullshit when it gets going. Woohoo! Urtai. I can spend 2 and blue, tap him, counter target spell. He's a counterspell on a stick. Well, he's got a stick. He's a counterspell dude with a stick. Torment Script. Sometimes I need to get rid of Graveyard. Cage Sun. Comes into play. Blue. Creatures. Blue. Get +1/+1. Whenever a land's ability adds blue mana to my mana pool, I add an additional blue to my mana pool. Stonyberg Angler. So he's kind of like the Puppeteer, except he costs 1 less, and his activation cost is 1 more. You may tap her and tap target creature. So I've got both of them. Riptide Laboratory. Return target wizard that was going to be Swords to Plowshared back to my hand. Information Dealer. Look top X cards your library, X the number the wizard played. So Scry. Well, not really Scry because you don't get to put them on the bottom, but you get to reorg the top of your library according to the wizards you control. In one game that was about 20. In one game I looked at about the top 20 cards in my library, and I reorganized. I put, say, I think 5 on top, and the rest of it I didn't really care about. I'm not going to overthink this because I can just do it again if he doesn't die. And then Riptide Director. 2 colors, blue, draw a card for each wizard you control, so you can reorg top your library, and then you can draw all those cards. Nyx Lotus, there it is. Comes to play tapped, but Tezzeret can untap it. Choose blue at an amount of mana equal to your devotion to blue. Castle Vantris, it's pretty. It's just in here. It's expensive for the Scry, but yeah. Alright, step through. There's some bullshit written here about, I don't know what it says, I can't read it, but wizard cycling. So step through says spend 2 mana, discard this card, go find patron wizard. That's what it says. Master Waves. 3 and a blue for 2/1 Merfolk Wizard with Pro Red. Elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. If I've got the Masquerade Nexus out, he's giving everybody I control +1/+1. He's working hard. Comes into play, I get a bunch of elementals, and if I've got the Nexus, I'm getting a bunch of elemental, wizard, knight, squirrel, Eldrazi, everything. They're everything. So if I've got the low mage mentor, I can tap the elementals to counter spell. If I've got Azami out, I can tap the elementals to draw cards via the Nexus. So there we go. Kazmina, Enigmatic Mentor. Spells your opponent's control that, it's only spells, it's not abilities. So she's not that great, because usually if they're going to do some kind of spell that wants to get rid of my stuff, it's a board wipe, it doesn't target. Or they're using an ability. She doesn't stop abilities. Fucking lazy bitch. And I can make a blue wizard creature token by giving her -2. So maybe she's not so lazy after all. She just doesn't want to stop abilities, which is kind of annoying. She needs to go back to wizard school, learn how to stop abilities, Kazmina. Academy Ruins. Put a broken artifact back on top of my library. Island. Island. Oppression. Opposition. I do not have Mind over Matter in here. Mind over Matter is discard a card, untap a permanent. I don't have it in here because it's a oppressive combo piece. I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want to be that dirty. I am being dirty with this Azami. It's a very oppressive deck, but I don't want to be that dirty. So with this, I can tap and tap creature I control and tap artifact, creature, land. So I can, my opponents, alright, I attack. No, you don't. No, you don't. Declare your fucking combat step. Do it right. Okay, I declare my combat step. Alright, I tap all the shit that I think might hurt me. I tap all the shit I can't deal with. They can't attack me. You may proceed with your combat step. Island. High Market. Island. Reliquary Tower. If I'm drawing a lot of cards, I'm going to have a big hand and I don't want to discard them. Island. Island. Mystic Sanctuary. It's an island. Comes into play tapped unless I have 3 or more other islands. And when it comes to play untapped, I can put an instant or sorcery from a graveyard back and tap my library. Merfolk Tricky Stir. When she comes into play, tap target creature an opponent controls and loses all abilities to what do you intend to attack me with? Oh, fuck that. I'm not taking that. No, it's just a whatever with no trample, no first strike, nothing. And I'll get it. Okay, here's the dirty combo. Maybe this should be the thumbnail for the dirty combo. So, Willbreaker. Whenever the creature an opponent controls becomes target of a spell or ability I control, gain control of the creature for as long as I control Willbreaker. Sea King's Blessing. Changes the color of one or more target creatures to blue until end of turn. So if I have Willbreaker out, this is kind of like Hirobi. If I need to get another Touch of Darkness. Touch of Darkness is the black version of this. With Hirobi, if Hirobi is on the field, I can cast Touch of Darkness at instant speed, target all my opponent's creatures, and kill them. With Willbreaker, if she's in play, I can Sea King's Blessing, target all my opponent's creatures, and steal them. They're mine now, bitch. Tower of the Magistrate. I need to get more of these. I should have one in damn near all my decks because the lads think I have one in all my decks. Lately I've just been playing decks that happen to have these. Target creature gains protection from artifacts until end of turn. Grayson Starn hates this. Okay, you're going to give Grayson Starn a Basilisk Collar? No. The Basilisk Collar is going... No, Grayson Starn is going to gain protection from artifacts. Did you pay the ward? Yes, I paid the ward. He can't equip it. Or it falls off if he is equipped. Void Mage Husher. So she's flashy. Comes into play. Counter target activated ability. Whenever I play a spell, I can bounce her back to my hand. Do it again. Rite of Replication. Yeah, make a lot of tokens. Whatever I've got. If I've got Masquerade. And it's so... I mean, there's so many fun targets. Daring Apprentice. I mean, having 5 Daring Apprentices, that can be pretty cool, can't it? 5 counterspells just sitting around waiting to be used. Phyrexian Metamorph. It can be an artifact. It can be a creature. It's weird. Island. Island. Terrain Generator. Put a basic land from your hand to play tap. So it doesn't put the Thawing Glaciers into play, but it helps me get my... if I'm drawing cards, I need to get the lands out of my hand. I want to build my resources. So Terrain Generator fits the bill. Saffron Medallion, my blue stuff costs 1 less to play. Temple of the False God. Blue island, kind of water themed, that's why I'm using this art. I don't like these diamonds. I don't like the new colorless symbols. I prefer the circle with a number in it, but that's just me. Just a dick blah. You have no maximum hand size, so he duplicates Reliquary Tower. He or she, I'm not sure. It's kind of indistinct. 1 of the blue for a 1/3 human wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in it, it's an alternate win condition. It's a first Krishna. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend, the patron wizard. Tap an untapped wizard you control. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. So if I have a bunch of wizards, my opponent's not going to be casting a bunch of spells. And in fact, when the deck is going, if he's out, they will count the number of wizards I have before they cast any spell that they think I might not like. It's pretty funny. So, how many wizards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they'll look at their mana, they'll think about the other things they need to do, and quite often they won't bother casting the spell because they know they're not going to get it off. Island. Reflections of Litjara. Comes into play, choose wizard. Whenever you cast a wizard, copy that wizard. Becomes a token. So this is cool. I haven't played it yet. This is a relatively new edition. Azami does not come out very often. She does not, because she's so fucking oppressive. But I'm taking her Ostruzna from now on. Mutavault. 1, Mutavault becomes a 2/2 wizard. Merfolk, whatever is relevant. So it's just fun. It's just, I always like Mutavault. I love non-basic lands. Island. Alright, we're in the bottom of it. Mages of the Unseen. She's just fun. 1 in a blue, tap. Untap target artifact and opponent controls and steal it until the end of the turn. If it's an artifact creature, it gains haste. So I can attack with it. I can spend, use any part of the ability to require tap. So basically I just steal the artifact. And the extra verbiage, the extra wording, that's just how they used to do things back when they were still sorting the game out. Now they've got it solved. They've sorted the game out. It's a cash cow that they're bloating to death and just pumping out too much product. So yeah, they've got the game figured out. Cyclone Summoner 7. When he comes into play, if I cast him, I bounce all permanents to their owner stands except for giants, wizards, and lands. So he's pretty damn cool. I was thinking of taking him out. I'm not sure if I want him, but I don't have a whole lot of board wipes in here. Island. Vidalcan Shackles. You may choose not to untap the shackles, or you can choose to tap it and keep the creature. So 2, tap. Gain control of target creature with power less than or equal to the number of islands you control as long as Vidalcan Shackles remains tapped. Cryptic Command. Yep. It's commanding. It's cryptic. It's weird. I like it. I've always liked this card. It costs too much for Modern now, but Commander, it's fine. Whelmwright. He's fantastic in this deck. Oh my god, I love getting him out early in the game. So all my non-basic lands produces blue if I need to. They do double duty. So when he comes to the battlefield, choose a base land, choose island. Land you control or island in addition to their other types. So that's Azami, Lady of Scrolls. And like I said, looking at those individual cards, I mean, Triska Dicka Popapoo, Triska Dicka Bilophile, That dude. So he can win me the game. He can just win me the game at my upkeep. 5-13 cards, and it's not too hard to do that. But that's why for Prague he would come out. For Ostruzna, nope. Screw you guys. You can handle it. What I want to do is I want to make the deck crueler, meaner. I want to make it more. Should I put the Fate Fish in there? I want to make it more for Ostruzna. I'm not really sure exactly what I should take out for some of these, but I want to make it also faster. Yes, my beat to hell, thrashed, water damaged, folded, but signed original Minor Crypt. I'm going to put that in here. So I'm not sure what I'll take out. In fact, I'm not going to do it on this video. I'm already pushing the limit of the camera as far as time. So Fate Stitcher, I should probably put him in here instead of the Puppeteer because it costs one more. And I may tap or tap another target for any permanent. So he's probably going to be better than Puppeteer. Gadwick Wizard, I'm not really sold on him. So the drawing cards, spinning triple blue for the 3/3 wizard. Can you not? I'm fucking making a video. And you're right below the goddamn window. T-volt it. Anyway, so the drawing X cards, yeah, I could do that, but whenever cast a blue spell, tap target non-land permanent opponent controls. I don't have that many instants, so it's not like I can use it as a reliable combat trick on their turns, but I can use it as a reliable combat trick on my turn to make sure something can get through. I'm still thinking about him. I'm not convinced I will put him in. She's going in. Time Stream Navigator, oh fuck yeah. 1 in a blue for a 1/1. 2 in a blue. You notice a lot of these have 2 blue activation cost. Urtai, Riptide Director. A lot of them have that kind of activation cost. It's funny. She goes to the bottom of my library, and I take a next turn. Activate only if I have the City's Blessing. Otherwise, she's 2 for a 1/1 wizard. I'm sure I can find a wizard takeout for her. And now we get real fucking dirty. Now we channel our inner bastard. Supreme Inquisitor. 3 blue for a 1/3 wizard lord. Tap 5 and tap wizards you control. Search target player's library for up to 5 cards and exile them. Then they shuffle. Yeah, fuck your combo. So this is too dirty for Prague. I wouldn't play this, but in Ostruzna, oh yeah. It's time for an Inquisition, bitches!